Racing Electronics display number 4721 here at the PRI show. As you know, on MRN, we do Wing Nation. We love our sprint cars, and this guy won more races than anybody last year. The Concrete Kid, Anthony Macri. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm doing okay. The feet feel a little bit better today. That's probably because it's only about 10 o'clock, but I don't know, we're doing all right.
Getting some steps in, then a lot of miles each. This show, you put some steps in, don't you?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of walking. Yeah.
No doubt about it. 23 wins this season. Have you had a chance to kind of sit back and process just how good of a season you have, the most wins in the country? It's got to be neat to sit back and think about it once the season is over.
Yeah, it's just, there hasn't been much time to, kind of sit back and reflect on it. I mean, you obviously go right into the next season with preparing stuff and organizing stuff. But on the ride out here, it kind of got quiet for a little bit, and I just started, going through YouTube and watching, videos of races that we won, and just going through pictures on my phone, and just, it's pretty incredible to, finally, when you do sit back and look at the season we had, it was, pretty incredible and doesn't happen very often. So, just kind of suck it all in and enjoy it while you can, and obviously that puts the target on our back a little bit bigger, and we'll just try to back that up and hopefully have another good season.
Is there a win or a moment that kind of stands out as you look back at the season?
I'd say obviously Tuscarora 50 was a pretty big one, but getting the first outlaw win is obviously really big, and there's a couple big moments this year, and it's I almost wish it didn't all happen in 1 year, and I'm happy it all happened 1 year, but just you think about this one and you lose sight of the other ones that happened. But Tuscarora 50 and the first outlaw win definitely stand out. I mean, those are two things that are not easy to come by, and not everybody can accomplish that goal. So those are some pretty good memories that are going to stick around for a while.
No doubt, as they should, that's for sure. One of the other things you had that I found interesting this year is you had three different crew chiefs. You started with Chris Shuttlesworth, you ended up with Bernie in the middle of it, Roach took over a little bit, and shoot, you might have had a couple other guys here along the way. It's got to be a challenge, but there's got to be some benefit having so many different ideas, concepts, things. Did you find learning from the various ones added to your program?
Yeah, I mean, Jim had his way of doing things, and obviously it worked. I mean, we had 14 wins before we decided to part ways, and then Bernie came in and his different bars, shocks, and then the way he sets the car up is totally different. So I kind of had to adjust my driving style to his setups, and then Ryan, he's kind of had an understanding of how we had things at some tracks, and he was more willing to kind of listen to me and do what I wanted, and I don't know, it's just you learn a lot, and you learn different things about different aspects of the car and how other people do it, and just obviously it makes your knowledge of the sprint car more, and I don't know, it's just it's unfortunate we had to go through three crew chiefs this season, but at the end of the season, it's just it's kind of nice to obtain the knowledge that we did, and just it's just we learned a lot, and we can take what we learned and kind of try to narrow in and make our program better, and hopefully we're able to do that over the winter and have another good season.
No doubt about it. Did I see you? I see you walking around with Joe Mooney. So you're locked in with your crew chief for next year. What does Joe bring to the table? What types of things does he have that appeal to you guys?
It's just he's extremely hardworking, and if he does something, he's making sure he does it right, and he's crossing his T's and dotting his I's, and unfortunately he came into the program and we had two trash cars, and the last 2 weekends of the season were not ideal. But it's just he's taken our program and turned it, I want to say 180 as far as organization wise, and I mean, the cars are kind of on the back burner right now, and just organizing the trailer and the shop, and inventory and everything, and it's just he's taken the organization part of the program and really, you know, taking it to the next level. And I know me and Roach and my dad were, you know, extremely impressed so far. So, you know, and I have faith in him, you know, being with Brad the last 4 years, and Eric, you know, obviously he's obtained some knowledge. So I feel like, you know, when we get to the racetrack, it's not going to be any different. And I have full faith in him, and I hope he has faith in me too. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with Joe, and you know, excited to get the season started and win some races.
Do you have all the schedules have been released over the last couple of weeks? Are you starting the process? Is it going to be kind of an open schedule, or what are you guys going to plan on right now at this point?
Yeah, it's an open schedule. I mean, you know, you can't argue with what, you know, Brent did this year and what we did this year. So, you know, just be bopping along, getting different races, and you know, obviously it paid off for us. So, you know, maybe a little bit more traveling this year, and get out to see different places, and hopefully, you know, get more money and more wins. And, you know, just it's kind of just you know, getting out and seeing new tracks and being able to, you know, obtain that knowledge of different racetracks. And you know, when you race with the Outlaws, it's a whole different level and competition, and just you got to be on your A game. And you know, I want to be on top of my game. So to beat the best, you got to run with the best. So you know, a little bit more traveling, and hopefully we can get everything dialed in over the offseason and have a good season.
Can't wait to see what happens. Anthony Macri, the Concrete Kid, 23 wins last year, looking for a whole lot more when we look at 2023. Joining us here at the Racing Electronics display at PRI.